Hey guys, it's Buddha Jam, and this is a shout out to one of my favorite YouTubers, Poppopbeat, an awesome person, and it's really a larger shout out to feminists everywhere. So if you're a feminist, if you're one of those people who believes in that radical idea that women are people, do your part in joining the shout out. It's basically 7 questions, and I'm going to jump in and start answering them, but I'd love to hear back from you guys. Hopefully you'll participate. I know I'm Ran has already done so, and hopefully others will too. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start answering the questions. I'm a feminist because, as a man, I see that the primary problem or obstacle for women in their struggle for liberation, for equality, is men. It's men. Men are the problem. Not all men, not every single man, but men. And as a man, I see it as my duty, my obligation, to join in that struggle and do whatever I can to battle the forces of sexism and patriarchy and help women in that struggle. That's why I'm a feminist. Everything is wrong with traditional gender roles. Everything. The very notion that there are these cookie-cutter roles that supposedly based on an accident of birth you are to fill is complete nonsense. I believe in a world in which we as people, as individuals, could decide our own roles, what roles we want to play. And not based on an accident of birth, but based on our wants and our likes and our dislikes and our curiosities and all those myriad of things that make us who we are. That we could use that creative spirit that is part of our human nature to decide what roles we're going to play. And just one more thing, the idea, the main problem with traditional gender roles is that they're so limiting. I envision something much grander. Revolution is needed to really gain equality, gender equality. The problem really is that patriarchy is a part of capitalism. It is a fundamental aspect of it. And so I think beyond revolution, we can make reforms, we can struggle for reforms, and it's awesome, and we need to do those things within the system we live in now. I'm not totally against reforms. If that's what is, we have to think both short term and long term, and but ultimately, if we really are serious about equality, it's going to take nothing short of a revolution. I don't think I face a lot of stereotypes as a feminist directly. What I do face indirectly in a way is one, being excluded, because the common stereotype of a feminist is a man-hating lesbian. And so because of that stereotype, I am automatically excluded from the world of feminism. Like, just automatically. People are usually surprised, I find, to learn that men are and can be feminist. And so I think that's the one I most often encounter, and hopefully I do something to break that down. I'm gonna have to steal Poppopbeat's answer on this and just say capitalist exploitation. It's a classic example. The wage gap is a classic example of capitalist exploitation, pitting one working class group against another, whether it's whites against blacks, or women against men, or the Irish against the Italians. It goes right back to what Madison was writing about in Federalist Papers, number 10, I believe it was, where you keep these factions fighting against each other. As long as we keep fighting over the scraps falling off the table, they're fine. But that day when you and I, men and women, whites and blacks, whatever little group you can think of, join together and say, fuck the scraps, we want to sit at the table. That's a revolution. That's a revolution. I think some women get the respect they deserve, but I think it's very hard for women to get that respect. Um, it's very difficult because women are so objectified, so commodified in our culture, seen as nothing more than sex objects most of the time. It's very hard for them, I think, to, not because they don't have the will to do it. It's just so perverse, or so much a part of our culture. It's very hard for women to be seen outside of that, and so I don't think most women get the respect they deserve. No. Feminism has done everything to help women, everything, and what I'm just going to focus on real quickly is that, you know, I get to work with female carpenters, wonderful female carpenters, and I'm proud to say that my union, the United Brotherhood of Carpenters, I think is leading the way as far as bringing women into the construction industry, recruiting them, you know, actively recruiting them. Right now, my job that I'm on, we have 2 women in our crew of about maybe 10 or 12 people. Now, maybe that doesn't sound like a lot to you, but it is a lot. And it's getting more all the time. And it's awesome. And I'd love to see it. I think as far as construction, the carpenters are leading the way, but I know other trades are actively recruiting women as well. The electricians, the plumbers, the ironworkers. The ironworkers seem to be having the most trouble getting women in. Maybe due to the dangerous nature of the work or some of the tests they have, I'm not sure, but they're trying, and you know, it's sad. I mean, I've heard women tell me stories that got in the industry 20 years ago, or maybe, you know, even longer than that. Talk about men pissing in their hard hats, all kinds of just sick abuse, and it's not that that's just completely vanished. You know, it still exists, but there's more acceptance. There's a stronger effort to include women in the union. We have a program called the Sisters in the Brotherhood, which, you know, helps women, you know, talk about the issues they have at work, and, you know, so, and that's feminism. That's feminism in the real world. You know, it's not just an idea. The idea pushes real, concrete things, like the fact that I get to go to work tomorrow and work with female carpenters, and I think it's a beautiful thing, you know. So, and that's just one thing. I mean, you know, there's a million things that feminism has done for women, but, you know, for me in my life, that's one of the positive things I see on a day-to-day basis, and it makes me happy, you know. I like going to work and seeing, you know, women doing construction. It's cool, and they like it, you know. So feminism has done everything for women. That's what I'm going to say. All right. So if you're a feminist, if you love women, if you believe that women are people too, carry on. You know, shout out, answer these questions. Let us know why you're a feminist. Talk about these things because it matters. Peace.